Okay, I think we'll get going. Thank you, everybody. Happy 2021. I hope 2021 treats you better than 2020 probably did. Wish everybody a happy new year and a healthy 2021. My name's Hugh Peterson. I'm the product manager for standard imaging for the water phantoms and our PIPS Pro machine QA software. Today I'll be kind of introducing you with an overview to our new DoseView 1D software for our 1D water phantom. The 1D water phantom has been around for quite some time, but we've rewritten the software for it. We've done some material hardware improvements to the system over the last year as well to add some improved leveling functionality, things like that. But today I'm going to be focusing on the software improvements and basically what is a ground up rewrite to the software. If you have any questions on the hardware itself, feel free to either contact me. I'll have my contact information at the end of the presentation, or you can contact your regional rep by checking on our website for our rep finder. But today, let's move into the software. So one thing here at Standard Imaging is, and bear with me, something is not moving along. It always takes a few seconds to go. There we go. So one thing, had a very trying year, but even though those trying times, we still continue to do what we do because we know cancer affects everybody, family, coworkers, friends, in so many different ways, both directly and indirectly. So we're very proud of being a leading manufacturer of and supplier of radiation calibration and QA equipment for your needs. A couple of bits of housekeeping for today. The webinar is being recorded, so you'll get a link to the recording via email, and then you can either feel free to watch it again at your leisure because it's going to be very, very scintillating, I'm assuring you. Or feel free to share it with any of your colleagues who may not be able to attend today, and they can kind of take a look at it as well. Any questions you might have can be entered in the question dialog box in the GoToMeeting dashboard, and I'll address those at the end. A little bit about Standard Imaging. We were incorporated in 1989, so we just celebrated our 30th anniversary about a year and a half ago, and looking forward to hopefully the next 30. Based in Middleton, Wisconsin, and very snowy in the winter, but very beautiful in the spring, summer, and fall, and kind of makes those snowy winters, as you can see in the picture, worth it. And we design a full and offer a full suite of QA products for radiation oncology, including our phantoms and our ion chambers, our X-ray line of ion chambers, a full line of electrometers, stereotactic phantoms, patient QA software, our Adaptivo and LinAcView software. So a whole host of solutions for your department. But today, like I said, I want to kind of focus on the DoseView software for our 1D water phantom. It's a brand new reimagined software for our 1D. I don't know if any of you have familiarity with the existing software, but it was very basic in scope, and we've added a lot of good functionality and feature sets to the new software that really will make it much easier to perform the scans and do your dose conversions, produce those PDD tables, things like that are all incorporated into the new software. We have, like I said, we've integrated it. We use the base of our 3D software for our DoseView 3D Phantom, and built onto that, basically utilizing that ease of use and functionality, and built it into our 1D software. It's a web-based layout that everybody's kind of familiar with, and then it's a single software package now with the 3D and our 1D to perform all your water phantom operations. It integrates directly into, like I said, our 1D Phantom, obviously, but then also with our Super Max and our Max 4000 and 4000 Plus electrometers. So it allows you direct connectivity to those systems and utilizing those for your data output. Some features of our DoseView software for the 1D. This is our splash page, which you'll see when I show you the software in a few minutes, a little more in depth. But it's an easy left to right navigation, top to bottom, very similar to what you're used to with your existing Windows-based software or Mac-based software. Allows you basically very easy navigation throughout the system. We like to say there's no hidden features. Everything is kind of right at your fingertips. You don't have to go digging for different folders or different tabs, things like that. It's a very easy, quick workflow through the whole software. And we have very intuitive menus for not only for your scan queue setup, but your measurement and your analysis as well. And I'll kind of run through that as I show you the software, just how easy it is to use. But like I mentioned, it's a very, very fast queue setup. You can set those queues up for your depth scans for all energies and modalities. We've got tools for converting the ion depth measurement depth curves to dose, and then the export functionality for those PDD tables. We have a selectable force point at Dmax, which gives you the ability to set up your scan queues and assure yourself that you will be still getting a measurement point at the point of Dmax. And we also, in addition to the depth curve measurements, we also have easy single point measurement capabilities as well. So that being said, that's just a quick overview. Let's take a quick look at the software. I want to see if I can maybe get you out of here in about 25 minutes or so. Don't want to keep you too long. I know you guys are all busy with your days, or some are starting your evenings, depending on where you're at. So I want to kind of move along. But let me bring up the software here. And this is our like I mentioned, our splash page, our title page. You can choose to either enter in into the 3D realm or jump into the 1D software. So I just click on that, and it opens up the software. And this is what we call our setup page. You can see here above there's three tabs. There's setup, there's measure, and there's analyze. The setup tab basically kind of, this is, in some respects, with the exception of maybe the scan queues, it's kind of a set it and forget it kind of situation. This is where you would set up your clinics. For example, here I've got a demo clinic, and then I've got an SI clinic. Very easy, just name, location, contact, phone, and email. So not a whole lot of information there, just kind of a housekeeping point for our database, if you will. Machines, kind of the same thing. Highlight a clinic here. For this clinic, I've got a TrueBeam set up, but again, if I want to add other ones, I can easily add other machines. The name, the manufacturer, model, etc. And then requesting that you include the energies for your different modalities, whether electrons or photons, 6 MV, 10 MV, etc. And then the Dmax for those specific energies. So for example, here you can see this is a TrueBeam. I have it set up for 6 and 10 MV, and then 9 MeV as well, just as a kind of a demo. So I've got that set up. Moving on to the next is our detector tab, and basically this is where you set up your detectors. I've got all our different number of different standard imaging chambers here, but you can easily add your chambers here and use any chamber or diode or detector that you would want from any manufacturer. We're vendor neutral in pretty much all our products. We don't limit them to only the products we manufacture. You set your inner diameter. That's for your dose conversions later on, serial number, etc. So you have that functionality as well. Same with our electrometers. We can set up different electrometers within the system too, either our max or our super max electrometers. I'm going to skip over scan queues ever so quickly and just jump into preferences, and then I'll go back to scan queues. But the preferences, this is where you set your CSV delimiters depending on region for your decimal separators as well. I know some, like here in the States, we use a period or a point for our decimal separators. Some countries and regions use a comma, things like that. And our time formats and our date formats, month, day, year, you can set that to different things as well. But that's all there is really in the preferences. Scan queues, this is where you would actually set up your scan queues. And one thing we've kind of prided ourselves on is to make our scan queue generation kind of easy as possible and very streamlined. As you can see here, you can set up, there's kind of 5 different summary points here. You've got your general, your energy set, your field sizes, your scan types, and then your scan mode. And you can see we have things that are set in gray need to be addressed. So we've got our general, and really for this, all you need to do is set up, say, a name. And now you can see that sets as complete, but you can also go in and obviously set your the medium that you'll be measuring in. Obviously, it's going to be in water. Your modality, whether you're doing MV or you're doing triple F beams or you're doing electrons. And then you have your field definers. You have your JAWS or MLCs, or if you're using SRS cones. If you're using electrons, you can, it will switch to electron cones for you. And then any modifiers you might use, either wedges or cutouts if they're electrons, or none. So I'm going to choose MLC here. You can see that has been set. Go to my energies, setting my 6 MV and my 10 MV. Easy enough to add energies. If I have 18 MV, I can add that very easily, and then that populates up top. Thinking I don't have 18 on this machine, I can easily delete it as well. So I'll choose my, let's do some scans I'll set one up just for easy 6 MV scan set. Field sizes, same thing. You've got some that are preset. You can easily add if you want, and then that'll populate up as well. If I don't want to do those, I can take that away also. Say for this one, I want to do 10 by 10 and maybe 20 by 20. And then my scan types, and for this one, obviously, I just want to do depth, and since I am in the 1D side of the software, so that's automatically selected for you. And then the last one is scan mode, and the scan mode gives you a couple different choices and functionality selections. Basically, we've got the like I mentioned, a force pointed Dmax. So if you have a resolution of say 2.0 and you're starting down at maybe 10 cm for electrons, doing 10 millimeters, 2 millimeter steps, you would miss say a 1.3 millimeter point at Dmax for 9 MeV. So you can actually force that point, and it will take a measurement, and then it will return to that original scan path. We have zones. We've got what we call single zones, and you can see that's shown here, or what we call multiple zones, and that gives you the ability to set up different resolutions. So if you want a higher resolution measurement in the Dmax region here, you can maybe set that resolution to 1 millimeter scanning points versus the 2 millimeter scanning points of the whole set. You set your zone start and your zone end. For this one, I want to go to single and set my, let's do 6 MV. I do want to go down to maybe, 25 centimeters for this one. I'm sorry, centimeters. And so that has that selection now all set. I want to force that point at Dmax, and I'm going to save that scan set. And then my test scan set will show up down here at the bottom. So that's really what you have, for setting up your scan sets. Very easy, kind of walks you through it, shows you what needs attention to get those scan sets done. From there, you move on to your measure page. Now I'm ready to actually take my measurements. You can see there's three tabs here. One is the hardware tab, and this is basically where you set up your specific hardware. In this case, I want to, if I'm connecting to an actual 1D, I want to set it up to my device 1D. But nice thing too is we also have demo modes, so you can kind of go in and kind of play around and practice with the software since you're not using it every day. It might be something that you just want to kind of refamiliarize yourself with. So I'll choose my demo with my Max 4000, and then I choose to connect that, and I initialize. I'm initializing the water phantom now, and that will go to the upper limit of the hardware and set itself. I want to choose my detectors, and I'm using my A28, which is my scanning chamber for this particular one. Choose my electrometer, and you'll see now I've got a field and a reference here. Since I'm using a Max 4000, which is only a single channel electrometer, it does not give me an option for a reference channel. Whereas our Supermax being a 2-channel electrometer, you can set that up for using it as a reference detector as well. And then we need to zero my electrometer. And then after it's zeroed, I can choose and apply my bias. And then, like everything I had showed you before, everything shows up blue when you're ready to go. The position, this is basically just going to a specific position of the phantom itself. So right now I'm sitting at 0, which is set up as my origin, which was set, for example, with my pendant in the room. So that's all there is to setting up your hardware. Then I can choose to go to my scan queue. I'm going to load a queue here. And just for demo purposes, I'm going to actually choose this scan here. It's actually a 9 centimeter electron scan for 9 MeV. Telling you to maybe check your dose rates. There's the setting in that in the hardware that has defaults, but you can adjust those accordingly. And so I've got my scan set here. I can zero the electrometer again if I need to. Here I can set my normalization. So I want to normalize to a specific Dmax depth for 9 MeV. I'm going to go to that position. It'll move the chamber accordingly to that spot. I can normalize, close my normalization window, and then I can start my scan. A couple things you'll notice here when I start my scan that we'll get a progress indicator here as far as how long your scans or where your scan is, and then it'll show you also the active scan in green. So if I have a whole list of a scan set here, it'll show me which one by easily viewing which one is showing green to see what your actual scan set is, as you can see here. So it's moving right now to the bottom depth of my my scan. When I get there, then I will start my scan itself. So in order of time, I will just kind of let this go, and I'm going to show you now the analyze page, and then I'll jump back and go to the show you the single point. But here I can load any of my previous scans that I've done. For example, here I'll do. Let me do this one here, which is an electron curve, as you can see. And you have a number of, you want to bring that up. Shows you down here whether it's an ion base curve or has been converted to dose yet. This one has not. So here's your different filters. You've got a couple of different smoothing filters. You've got a point edit filter, so you can go in and edit any of those specific points. I've got a normalize to a specific value. You can normalize at Dmax. You can normalize at a specific depth. You can do a shift, or like I'd mentioned before, you can also do your dose convert. And for the dose convert, I'll convert that. And one thing I had mentioned early on is when you set up your detectors within the setup page, is you actually enter in that chamber diameter. So this will actually do your chamber drop calculation for you, for doing that, for getting your effective point of measurement of the chamber, and gives you also the calculated practical range of the scan. So that data is all there. We have it for both TG51 and TRS398. Easy as just clicking on OK then to do your conversion, and you'll see now the scan has changed from dose to from ion to dose, so you know this has been converted. You heard that ding. That ding is just an indicator that your scans are done. So they have completed, and either completed, or if you're doing multiple energies or you're doing multiple scan sets, it will indicate that something needs to be changed. Say if you go from a 10 by 10 to a 20 by 20 field size, it will tell you indicate that, and you go back to your measure page, and you'll have a dialog box here telling you what needs attention. Again, either energy change or field size change. But like I said, a number of different filters. I can go to my metrics here, and I can see the various metrics for my different measurement points through the scan. I have the ability to also see what filters are applied. So in this case here, I've normalized to a value, so I've actually done my dose conversion as well. So you see I've normalized to that value, which I did before I scanned. I've done my dose convert here. You always have the ability to show your raw data as well. So I can show my ion curve here that before the dose conversion. I can turn that back off. I can clear filters. I can clear either the last filter or clear all the filters. So if I do there's only one filter I added to this, which is the dose conversion. I can remove that filter, and now I go back to my ion curve versus my dose, but easily enough to reapply that and go back to dose. And you can do that with any of your filters. Your smoothing, you can always see your raw data as compared to any filtered data. So you always have that functionality and ease of being able to do that comparison to see what filters are done and applied to the curve. But we also have the ability to do the various exports for this. You can export it into the various treatment planning systems. You can do a CSV export. You can do a export of your PDDs to a PDD table, and also you can do our TPR table generation or calculation as well within the system, both the 3D for the 3D system. So anyway, that's kind of what we have. We also have the ability to export it into the DoseView format. So if you are, say, using a PC at work at your clinic, but you also have a laptop with the DoseView software, personal laptop or something, you can export those DoseView files into other DoseView software to view and analyze those scans accordingly. So that's kind of what we've got for the depth measurements. And as I had mentioned, let me jump back to our single point. Our single point measurement, very easily set up as well. My electrometer is already set up. I can set up my measurement type if I want a timed one or a trigger or a continuous. I want to set up my durations and how many repetitions of a specific measurement I want. I choose my energy, my field size. Say for this, I want to do a 10 by 10. My temperature, I want to, let's see, maybe 22 degrees Celsius. I do millimeters of mercury. And I can again zero my electrometer. And then I can start my measurements. And as I do that, like I said, I'm doing 5 repetitions of 1 second measurements. So I've got those here coming up. You can see the charge measurement, the energy, the field size, all the information that was entered in. And then I can save this point set as well. So that's something. It's pretty straightforward, easy to do to get those point sets. Then I can go over to my analyze as well. I can load my point sets, and let's see what's. Click on OK, and it'll show me those, and I can export those to CSV if I want as well. So those are giving you your point measurements for a specific energy at a specific field size. But that's kind of just a rough overview. Like I said, I just want to kind of give you a 10,000-foot view of the software today, just to kind of show you some of the new features and new improvements we've got of the system. So as I kind of mentioned in the software, you got the easy left to right, top to bottom navigation. You've got very quick and easy queue setup. And one thing I didn't mention is as you set your queues up, there is editing and copy functions. So you can set a queue up for a specific energy, copy that, and then basically paste that and edit that to add. So you can go, I want all these scans for all these depths for 6 MV, but I also want them for 10 MV. So you just copy the 6, paste it onto my list, edit that 6 MV to 10 MV, and you're good to go there. So it's a very quick and easy editing function as well. Like I said, no hidden features. Everything is right there at your fingertips. And actually, the step or continuous, it's only step in the depth measurements. The continuous is for the 3D side, so I need to adjust that here on my PowerPoint. So I apologize about that. But you get full export of your PDD tables and data into your various treatment planning systems. We've got the also one thing I didn't mention, we have import functionality for legacy scan data. So if you've got an older system from, say, IBA or PTW, you can bring in those scans as well and view and do some comparisons and analysis on those. And very straightforward post-scan processing and metrics within the system. So it's kind of a full feature software that allows you to run and gather data from your 1D Phantom. But that's kind of all I have. Like I said, I just want to do a quick overview today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact either sales@standardimaging.com, and that those questions will get directed right to your regional representative or your distributor if you're an international customer. Or you can contact me, hpeterson@standardimaging.com, with any specific questions as well. And that being said, let me just see if I've got any questions. Oh, okay. So it looks like there was doing manual measurements at specific depths, but yeah, that was the point measurement point. So it looks like he or she who asked that question said I answered that as I moved along. So, but if there's any other questions, please, again, feel free to let us know. It looks like that was the only one that was asked. Yep. So I thank you for your time, and please feel free to check out standardimaging.com. It's a brand new website. We rolled out the end of November, actually, right around the time for the virtual Estro meeting. That was the last weekend of November. So please feel free to go visit our standardimaging.com. There we've got also you can sign up to register for our customer portal, and that will give you access to a lot of other information, publications, and white papers regarding our products, things like that. So do feel free to go check that out at standardimaging.com. But otherwise, I thank you very much, and I hope you all have a very good rest of your day.